Hello, good morning, and welcome to the Focus News. My name is Resma Anggita, and I will accompany you to 5 minutes forwards to listen the most updated, actual, and factual news from all around in Indonesia. Our first news today is instruction of the Minister of Transportation ahead of health protocols and ramp check at the airport. Transportation Minister Budi Karya Sumadi instructed all stakeholders in the aviation sector to take the health protocols and carry out ramp at airports in the preparation for the Christmas and New Year celebration. This was conveyed by Minister of Transportation Budi Karya when reviewing Soekarno-Hatta Airport in Cengkareng, Tangerang, Banten. Our second news today is come from Mount Semeru activity. It's still dominated by earthquakes and eruption. The activity of Mount Semeru is still dominated by earthquakes and eruption over the past few days after the eruption that occurred on Saturday, 4 December 2021. Seismic activity that is also observed is a gust as much as one even, and tectonic earthquake as much as once. Meanwhile, the status of Mount Semeru is still at level 2 or alert, and based on the activity report of Mount Semeru by website Geological Agency of the Ministry of ESDM, on 10 December 2021, the volcano is high as 3,676 meters from sea level and was clearly monitored to foggy. And now we are moving to our third news. Okay, so our third news today is Puan hopes the government will immediately send President of letter related to the TPKS bill. The chairman of the House of Representatives Puan Maharani asked the government to immediately send a presidential letter that the draft law on sexual violence crimes could be discussed immediately with the government. This letter does not only regulate for the protection of victims of sexual violence. This letter is important regarding to human rights. Puan also said that there is an important element in the development of the country. Therefore, women should get a protection considering that many victims of sexual violence come from among women, and women's rights are often held hostage to our social culture condition. So often women who are victims of sexual violence cannot defend themselves and have difficulty getting protection. This letter is needed to ensure the fulfillment of women's rights, and this letter focuses on victims and regulate the prevention of sexual violence. This letter can fill the legal void for cases of sexual crimes when it has been passed away, and law enforcement can make this letter as a guideline for dealing with sexual assault cases. Now we are moving to our fourth news. Okay, so our fourth news today is Indonesia preparing regulation to help fund mangrove restoration. Indonesia is preparing regulation to help finance a program of mangrove restoration work from sources outside of the state budget. As a part of its carbon neutrality efforts, a senior government official told Reuters on a Friday, Indonesia launched a mangrove rehabilitation program on March aiming to restore 600,000 hectares or 1.5 million acres of degraded mangrove by 2024 to help absorb carbon emission. And a government study showed last month that Indonesia will need to invest $550 billion to $200 billion and per year in a low carbon programs over the next 9 years to meet its goal of net zero carbon emission by 2060. And to help research its goal, Indonesia will start charging a carbon tax next April on coral fire power plant operators with the carbon emission levels above a government set limit. Now we are moving to our last news. Okay, so our last news is two teenagers were allegedly gagged up by a number of people in the street Gajah Mada, Taman Sari subdistrict in the West Jakarta. So Taman Sari Metropolisi Chief AKBP Iverson Mastono said two people suffered injuries and the incident occurred on Saturday morning. The preparators of Kinjing are suspected members of motorcycle gangs that often make a restless in the Jakarta area, and it's conducted a crime scene to find the figure of the preparator. The police are examining the CCTV footage around the scene. So that's all the news I could present to you. And if you have some suggestion or question and critiques about our program, please visit us at www.net.co.id. Finally, I am an all crew Focus News. Say have a nice day and see you next time. Thank you.